Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to 80 Days. We're just still trying to get to back to London. It's going to be close. We're slowly running out of money because I'm speeding things up by paying a shit ton of more than what the travel is actually costing. Anyways, as we left Port-au-Prince behind, I realized that worrying about the pilot's threats of crashes was pointless since there was nothing for us to crash into. It would take the height of idiocy for us to fall from the sky. Such was very much cheerful thoughts as we followed the winds towards the distant coasts of America. I do need to take care of fog. Up here in the heavens, there is nothing to do but think we would soon be finished with our greatest journey. Though Europe was still 4,000 miles away, there was the distance we might close within a week, with luck. What had we learned after all we had seen? How could we return to daily life? Would Monsieur Fogg shrug everything off like a rain-soaked jacket? Would I? I caught Monsieur Fogg's eye at one point during the day, and I fancied I saw similar questions written there. Or perhaps not. Perhaps it was merely my reflection in his looking glass face. Can't do anything but wait. We were making good time, although no amount of speed was good enough for Monsieur Fogg. I did what I could to make my master comfortable, though the options aboard this vessel were quite limited. I could at least make tea off the burner. Evening came and we were making good progress. The coast of Norfolk had joined us like a following flock of birds. Let's treat him a little bit so that he's healthier and at better condition. We had been carefully following the coast for the last few hours as our pilot scanned for the perfect spot on which to set the balloon down. Finally, at the end, pointed. There, sure enough, someone had marked a large white circle on a flagstone patio. You were a friend waiting for you, I asked. The pilot nodded. No use being a smuggler without someone to smuggle to, he replied, with entering Candor. With immense skill, I began to release air from the balloon and lowered us to the ground. We were alive and on the coast of America. Nice. We did it. Alright. Some of the possessions could be sold here. Set of false teeth. Sure. That's really all I can bother myself about. And then to New York. In 2 days, negotiate. No charge tomorrow. Good. 2 p.m. Okay. Jesus. I don't hate it, but at times this thing is not that intuitive. The UI, I mean, it's a bit confusing at times. People were somewhat wary of Monsieur Fogg as we roamed the streets of Washington. Several buildings had not yet been rebuilt since the burning of the city by English forces in 1812. I could understand it, remembering the terrible feeling of being under attack from my own town during the siege of Paris. Still, not everyone was cold. A few people were out to make a quick buck. That seems to be typical for the treatment of tourists worldwide. Do you want a full tour, gentlemen? Said Hank Kingberry, a man with a smooth dark skin and fine leather jacket who strolled up to us. As though the sight of an Englishman and his battered valet were par to his normal fare. We are not visiting. No offense, boys, but I think you clearly are. No offense, boys, but I think you're clear-eyed, he smiled. You haven't seen what this piss has to offer. Thank you, but we are not interested, I replied firmly. Hank leaned in closer. Tell me now, he purred. What's your poison? We're quite unaccustomed to being poisoned. I replied archly, and he laughed at that. Well now, if you're unaccustomed to it, then you should follow me. He slapped me on the back. Here we make bourbon, and it's the best drink known to mankind. I looked to my master, who seemed indifferent. I shook my head. Ach, you fellows are no hope, Hank replied, then took his leave abruptly. A narrow shave, I suspect, Monsieur Fogg confided, as he stepped away. How unlike him to have an opinion. I think perhaps Monsieur Fogg disliked Americans as much as they disliked him. Depart, before it's too late. Why did you zoom so freaking far out? We're going to embark on the same day as we leave, that's good. We boarded on train and set ourselves in a short ride into New York City. And let's treat him. The journal was brief. The Atlantic flashed into the sunshine, beckoning us onwards. We were so close to home, but could we cross in 16 days? Plan. London. $5,000. If it doesn't increase, then we can do that. Market. I don't need this one anymore. Can put that one in that bag. Let's keep those things. Close that one. Plan. Well. Let's sleep. For some reason, I was pickpocketed in New York. I seized the thief's hand, still in my pocket. You tag with the wrong Frenchman, I claimed in triumph, only to immediately fumble, getting my other hand caught inside the cuff of my coat so that the creature in my grasp squirmed. She, for it was but a 10-year-old girl, pulled me off my feet, leaving me robbed in the gutter. To boot, I immediately located a police officer who regarded me with a curious but not entirely unfriendly expression. Most perturbed, I fancy, by my rather fetching attire. What's the matter with you? He asked, escaped from a circus. The man looked at me with some sympathy before replying. Don't worry, sir. You'll probably find those clothes are worth something on the second-hand market. With that, he moved away along the street, swinging his truncheon and whistling. I demanded to see his commanding officer. Making my unhappiness, it is gone quite clear on that front is how I end up spending the night in American jail, much to Monsieur Fogg's irritation. Okay, so, why the hell can I not go to London anymore? Did I really need to explore it again to get to London? That's some BS. I knew of the route. Well, here we go, the fun stretch. We left New York aboard the Henrietta, an old Confederate airship converted to a transatlantic mail carrier, we would reach London in 3 days barring any unexpected delay. However, no, in this game, there's going to be some. There's probably going to be some sort of unexpected delay. The ocean tore along beneath us. I enjoyed talking to no one. There was nothing I needed to know. No one to charm, flatter, or beguile into giving us aid. There was only the wind and the time, and we could control neither. Passepartout, my mastermind, make us go faster if you would. I approached the captain. Fast, you say? It can be done to destroy the engines. We want no risk, no danger. Then I promise you we will be in London in 2 more days. Wait. Adventurer Fogg expected back. Soonly. Monsieur Fogg looked out of the observation deck windows with perfect calm, and there was no reason to be concerned. We were safely within our 80-day window. I could not wait to stride into the Reform Club and claim my prize. Excuse me, there's some slime in my throat. I really had to swallow. Anyways, I spent the remaining time watching every possible danger. One eye on the crew, the other on the ship, ready to react at the slightest trouble, but nothing broke the peacefulness of our day. Thank the gods. It entered at the airship dock in Hyde Park and felt for the first time in 68 days the feel of English soil under our shoes. At long last we had returned to London and a good time to win the wager. Return. I seized my master by the collar and threw him into the steam carriages idling on the banks of the Serpentine in Hyde Park. To the Reform Club, I shouted. Throwing £50 at the driver as inducement of speed. And you have another 50 when we arrive, no drive. There's no need for such unseemly haste, Passepartout, my master noted, but was a man possessed. The streets of London seemed comforting and familiar as they flashed past my well-travelled eyes. The carriages were mostly horse-drawn and gas lamps, while electricity lit our way as we raced down Pall Mall. The carriage barely shuddered to a steam hissing stop before I dragged my master from his seat and up the steps to the imposing doors of the Reform Club. I raised him only when we reached the great saloon where my master's 5 antagonists stood from the chairs, gasping in an attitude of great shock. Monsieur Fogg only straightened a little and said in his calm voice, "Gentlemen, here I am." The room erupted into cheers. Where had the crowd come from? Had they followed us inside from the street? I had scarcely noted them. I realized as though a spell had suddenly been broken and we had succeeded, and my master had won £20,000. With the 4,000 we began with, and our remaining funds is the profit for 19,000. Hardly a meager sum. My heart began to beat again, and I saw for the first time the grand interiors of the Reform Club, which had no doubt remained untouched since its founding some 30-odd years ago. The most advanced piece of technology within was the gilded clock set up on the mantelpiece. A few club members were muttering about the propriety of alighting in front of the club from a steam carriage. I pushed my way through to Monsieur Fogg, not Frog, Ribbit, who had nearly been swallowed by congratulatory crowds. "You have won the bet, monsieur," I told him, and seized my master by the hand and shook it. As though we were two equals and not merely master and a servant. Monsieur Fogg pressed my hand warmly and did not remark even once upon the impropriety of my gesture. Indeed, though his cool gaze did not as much as waver or soften, I believe he welcomed the chance to shake my hand. "Thank you for your service as my valet, Passepartout," Monsieur Fogg said coolly. "Though you did not perform your duties with particular skill, you were not particularly incompetent either. Steady mediocrity is his quality I admire in a servant. With Monsieur Fogg, one had to take one's compliments as they came. Mr. Fogg, one of the journalists in the crowd cried, interrupting our conversation. What's next for the great adventure? Phileas Fogg and his loyal valet, Passepartout. Mas looked at me. I have always wondered what is at the center of the earth. I looked around at the faces of the assembled crowd and quirked an eyebrow. Anyone care to make a wager? Monsieur Fogg refrained from rolling his eyes. I believe, he said with great deliberation, that tonight I'll have supper and go to bed. Come, Passepartout, it grows late. Yes, Monsieur Fogg, I said, and father, your journey around the world is complete. Celebrated Englishman Phileas Fogg wins round the world wager. Journey completed in 68 days despite the Indian rebels destroying train line in Chittagong, a cursed Baghdadi dagger, and failed mutiny en route to San Francisco. Well, that is it. It was a bit short, but that's what you can expect. It was like, if I were to guess, $7 or something on Steam. I don't know. I don't use dollars on Steam, so it was 70 Norwegian crowns. Anyways, it was a fun game, and I recorded it all in one sitting. So now my throat is killing me. I'm not used to talking this much. You also noticed how bad I am at reading out loud. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed. It's been enjoyable for me. It's been fun. A bit uneventful most of the time, but still fun. Anyways, if you like this, I suggest you pick it up and play it for yourself. It was worth it in my opinion. Right. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.